Well, sorry we're a little bit late. Hey, we had a couple of audio issues here. Mercury is not done yet. The retrograde, I think it ends August 11th is what we're hearing. Robert Imbriali with you today, and I've got three amazing guests with me as well. And we're looking forward to kicking off. This is the second of our new show called the Thursday Throwdown, where it's more roundtable discussion and we can go deeper on some of the topics rather than just presenting the news. We talk about the news in a different way. And the goal here is that not all of us are going to be on the same page, right? It's what we need to see. We need to have different perspectives on things. And the three people I have on with me today will certainly help with that. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but oh my gosh, what a week it has been already. First of all, people said really nice things about our show last week. Thank you so much for that. Bruce Poppy has been diagnosed with permavite. That means he's permanently invited on the show week after week. So he'll be able to join us. He's here today with us. Going to have a lot of fun. I just want to talk real quickly about the pace of disclosure. We talked, I think 107 had mentioned this about 2 years ago. He said this is going to be the year of the whistleblower. Yeah, he was not wrong about that, but it is accelerated. It is sort of a frenetic pace right now, and we are seeing so much stuff pop up. It's kind of incredible to see just how much is coming out. These whistleblowers are feeling empowered. They're not getting persecuted. It was a little bit like whack-a-mole before. They'd stick their head up and boom, they get the head chopped off. And none of the other ones are going to step up, right? They take out the first guy. Nobody else is going to say anything. But now, the first guy stepped up and, hey, pretty good. No one's taking my head off. And more coming forward. Apparently, there's boatloads of them in the FBI that are coming forward now, sharing what they know. I can't keep up. I don't know if you can keep up. It's kind of crazy, but, it's kind of a great place to be. I'm really excited about what's happening right now. And boy, I can't imagine. This August is a hot month. It's a hot day today. Joey and I were talking about the weather. Certainly it's a hot day, but I think September is going to be even hotter. If this pace continues, this frenetic pace continues, it's going to be a little bit crazy. All right, you've heard enough from me. Let me introduce my special co-host here, Mr. Bruce Poppy. How are you, my friend?
I am doing really, really well.
Good to see you.
I'm better than average. I'm better than some, but not as good as others. So,
okay. Yeah. How's the permavite holding up?
Well, I think I took a little bit too much ivermectin. How do you get cured from that? I don't know if there is no cure.
There's no cure.
I gotta get an vaccination.
That's right. It's good to see you, my friend. Glad you're here.
It's great to be seen. Thank you, sir.
And our next guest is Mr. Matt Geiger. You know him as the Verity Metals guy and Golf of America. I love that hat. Welcome in, Matt. Good to see you.
Thank you, sir. Good to see you, boys. Nice shirt, Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce is always wearing a good shirt. And we also have someone from our chat room. We pulled out of the chat room. Eric Adams is here. You know him best as Master Baggy. Here he is. Eric, welcome in. Good to see you. Hoorah, right? Hoorah. Cool.
Good to be here, sir.
All right. We'll do the Brady Bunch screen here. We can see everyone. And, it's just easier that way. First of all, how are you guys feeling? Let's go one by one. Bruce, how are you feeling about the pace of disclosure happening right now?
Well, I'm glad to see that things are moving in a positive direction. Now, this disclosure, just so everybody understands, from my perspective, this is stuff that we've already known, for years and, many, many years, some 5-10 years, who knows, how long many people have been awake. But this disclosure is not for us, the awakened, the anons, if you will, the people in the know. It's for the normies, the regular people to kind of wake up to see what's really been going on in our government for a very long time.
Absolutely. And, I have been saying this, Bruce. I don't know what your thoughts is, but I've been saying this for a long time. Those of us here in the know, people who are watching this channel, watching this show, all of us that have been following this kind of play-by-play throughout, I think there's going to be a surprise even for us involved in this. I mean, the normies forget about it. They're blowing steam like crazy, trying to, no, it didn't happen. No, it didn't happen. No, it didn't happen. That's not going to last very long. But do you think even people in the know are going to be surprised by what's coming out?
Oh, absolutely. I believe it even talks about that in the Q drops, right? That even, and it's a biblical thing too, in a way, because even though us in the know, there's going to be a gut punch, there's going to be a testing, there's going to be a point in time where we're going to be like, what? We can't even. I don't think we really understand and comprehend how there isn't an adjective bad enough. I use the word depraved, the depravity of these ruling elites, these satanic pedophile, child eaters. But once, if we really understood the depth and breadth of that situation, people are going to be freaked out for sure. It doesn't matter how long you've been awake or how much you think you know.
Well, we saw that post from Dan Bongino last week, and he said if you knew what I saw, is it actually made him sick, seeing what he saw in there. So, when that stuff starts to come out, I think all of us are going to be a little bit. But I think the element of surprise is what I'm thinking about too. It's like we're going to find out things about people who we thought were the heroes, and they will turn out to be the zeros. Matt, what do you think about that?
Are we talking about Robert Mueller today?
We will.
Who's more mentally gone, Mueller or Biden? What's that? He's
well. They discovered him in a memory care facility.
Yeah, they did.
So what a coincidence! Great timing.
Yeah.
Enjoy it, guys. This is the fun point. This is where we're going to start having a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it.
It is.
Good
So
to be with you.
So Matt, do you believe people are going to be surprised by what comes out? I think you'd be on that same page.
Not your audience, not this panel. We already know. I mean, the normies will. But this is what you get for watching fake news for your entire life and not being open to critique or changing your opinion based on new information. Everybody's so set in their ways. As I always say, these liberals, really communists, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. We'll call them liberals. They think they know everything, and to them, that's what gratifies them. They're experts in everything. And I think what's gratifying to me and I think to us is that we know nothing, realizing you know absolutely nothing, but with that openness to learn and to actually try to get to the truth, because all that matters is the truth. So I think this is going to be a fun show. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good to see you guys.
Eric, also known as Master Baggy, what do you think about the surprise element of all the disclosures?
I will tell you that in my position of where I was and background, DOD, retired, I feel that we had a purposeful cloak blanket over our eyes to protect and defend. And then when you go your own way and find out the truth of, wow, we've been lied to. And I'm talking about established DOD people, all right, some who are in the grave now, who they served their country, not realizing that they were a part of a pawn game to be front line and die for a cause they never knew about. And in their hearts, they were doing the right thing. It's not their fault. They were lied to.
Right.
Now, here we are, and truths are getting exposed. And thankfully, these platforms, as far as I'm concerned, we've turned the tables to where we are aggressively, for the positive and right reason, exposing the bad crap that's going on, trying to have people wake up. And so you have two options. Either you go, maybe this is right, or I'm oblivious, head in the sand. And the outcome to me is we're going to have a lot of mental health people to kind of like, sweep up the, oh my God, drinking from the fire hydrant, if you will.
Yeah, literally.
Because it's so crazy.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you're beating your chest and go, don't you see what's going on? No, I don't compute. And here we are. And thankfully, I say to where we are in this platform branching out, yeah, you have two options. This is real, not clickbait, not gaslighting. It's real, in your face real. or you can choose to deny and sweep up your pieces later. That's just my take on it.
No, it makes a lot of sense, and I think you're right. I think it was purposeful, and now we're getting to the point where, what is it? They say the natives are getting a little restless. I think we are, right? I think we're ready now for. Come on, bring it. We know it's corrupt. We know it's horrible. Let's have it out. So the FBI today fired more senior officials. How do you feel about the FBI cleansing happening? That's an interesting gambit. We think about the FBI. The FBI is pretty large. There's a lot of people in there. And what do we have? We have Kash Patel and we have Bongino at the top, and we still have Deep State for the rest of it. So I think they've got a lot of cleaning to do, and it's good to see that, there's some action happening. What do you say, Bruce?
It can't happen soon enough. I mean, this has been an ongoing, decades-long situation where these holdovers, appointed positions, not elected positions, or not confirmed positions by the Senate for their informed whatever they do, but you can see the fourth pillar of government, the deep state, the unelected bureaucracy, is the one that's been keeping everything under wraps. Throwing wrenches, throwing sand in the gears of anybody who's trying to get some momentum. We're just as scratching the surface what's come out publicly about the workings or the inner workings of the FBI and those other three-letter agencies. I mean, almost from its inception, the FBI under way back when were corrupt. I mean, it was a political game, a political hatchet job, for them to go around doing their things behind the scenes. The what do they call it? The premier law enforcement agency on the planet. And they just watch all these people that are supposedly on the radar of FBI commit mass murder. They don't do anything about it, try to stop. I mean, so this is we're only in the beginning of this thing. I don't think we're going to be able to fix it and restructure these things as they currently are. My viewpoint, unpopular as it might be, is the whole thing needs to be burnt down metaphorically and start back over the way that the founding fathers intended. Because how many agencies, three-letter agencies are there? Are all these different overlapping and different bureaucracies, things, institutions, we call them. We're supposed to trust these things. How many are overlapping? They all need to go away. Most all of them are constitutional. I even believe the FBI, their charter has expired. It hasn't been renewed by Congress. So they're completely unconstitutional and illegal. This is just, I'm just speaking right off the top of my head. I don't know if that's true or not, but I feel that's true.
Matt, what do you think?
Well, I think, great response, Bruce, but I think with the FBI, I think there's a lot of great people there. No doubt about it. I think there's most people in the FBI join the FBI. They want to, same for the CIA and a lot of these organizations. I firmly believe that the vast majority of these people are there to do good things. It's just when you get to the Strzoks, the Page, the Bruce and Nellie Orrs, the James Comeys, you in a sense, you have to make an example out of them. And I hate to say it, but it's got to be something like the death penalty. But I think what's going to come out about these people is going to even go beyond even people's imagination. I mean, Peter Strzok was born in Iran. He speaks fluent Farsi. He's, in my view, I think he's an Iranian spy, right? He looks like a white dude, right? He looks like, one of us, right? He could be on this, but he's actually Iranian. And the whole history about his dad helping the Ayatollah, there's going to be some very interesting stuff that comes about him having nothing to do with the spying or any of that, just the genesis of somebody like Peter Strzok. And you could see when he did that congressional hearing right when Trump came into office, he's squirming. He was actually perfect in that. Like, that guy was trained better than anybody. He almost embarrassed the Congress, the congressional members that were questioning him. Like, I felt like he got the best of it. And I was watching that, knowing that information at the time. So yeah, I think you have to make an example out of these people. I think it's got to be harsh punishment, life in prison, death penalty. I mean, it's there has to be an example set, and that's what I'm going to say about it.
You agree, Eric?
100%. So I can tell you this, just to get where we are. I heard a comment one morning, January 21st. We can relax now. And I said, absolutely not. You cannot relax now. Just because you think and I said this, your savior is sitting in office, it's not about one person. These it's like a man of war. These tentacles run just so deep, and we're not even scratching the surface yet. And so to figure out now, okay, we're going to subpoena. That's great. All these things are putting out there, and I had a problem with the Fauci hearings. Okay, you've got him in a hearing yet again. What are you doing about it? You're spending our tax dollars. You are bringing up this hearing yet again and again and again. How dare you? How dare you? What happened? Whether he is Fauci 2.0, 5.0, it doesn't matter. The fact that you had this person sitting in hearings lambasting Winky Winky, why are they still roaming the streets? So it's not about cleaning up, or here you go. We're going to drain the swamp. Not in 2-4 years, you're not. No, you're not. You're realizing all these things are puzzle pieces coming together, but how long would it take to drain the swamp? Who's really on our sides? And you get the Rhino and Democrats, and it's a party. Honestly, I feel, and I might be wrong, at the end of the day, they go to the same pub, they sit down at the same table, they drink the same beer, they clash, whatever, if that's the case. But I've always said this in the chat rooms, the preamble is we the people. We say, no, we have a right to say, not doing it. We can shut a system down, a corrupt system down. And I know it's very intense, but we have the right to do that because they're supposed to work for us. If you legally got voted into office, they're supposed to represent their areas. And right now, as far as confidence, I'm surprised if anyone in this country, and I'm sure there are people, I voted in office, they're supposed to work for me. They're not doing that.
Yeah.
Here's where we are.
Yeah.
And these platforms prove it. Thankfully, these platforms prove it to get the word out.
I love the differing opinions and the different information you guys bring to the table here. It really makes it fun to hear the different sides of this story, because I got some pieces, Bruce has some, Matt brings another piece of it, and then Eric, you bring a different perspective as well. I love it. I want to just take a moment to thank Matt and his company, Verity Metals. Guys, if you are thinking about investing in gold or silver or some of the other precious metals as well, platinum, palladium, I don't know if Matt deals in diamonds or not, but maybe diamonds too, who knows? I know a lot of people ask about the different metals.
Bad investment.
Bad investment. Okay, there you go. You heard it from the boss right there.
Very common. There's just been the whole market controlled by De Beers or whoever.
Yeah.
Stay away from diamonds unless you're getting married. Your girlfriend probably wants, and you don't want to have to explain your conspiracy theorist angle to why you're not going to get diamonds. Just get a damn diamond, pay the money, and don't buy them ever again.
Yeah, Matt's really a good friend, number one. And number two, I send people to him all the time because they come back and they always say, the guy is so friendly. He answers all my questions. And you always say that you want to be an informed investor. So you've got questions. And some of these places you go to invest in gold and silver, they're sales shops. They're going to rope you into something and they're going to sell. And that's all they're interested in is getting to the finish line, getting your credit card, getting your money, getting your investment. they're not really interested in helping. Matt's a little bit different than that, and actually a lot different. And he really takes care of his customers in a way that I haven't seen any other company do. So you want to find out more, I'll give you the where to go, veritymetals.com/renegade, or if you want to take Bruce's link, veritymetals.com/poppy, Poppy. We'll take you to there. You get a free ebook. And if you prefer talking to him on the phone, 480-717-9081 is the number. Matt, thank you for everything you do to support us. We appreciate it. And, it's always a pleasure to send customers your way because they always come back saying good things about you, my friend.
Well, thank you. I'm just another truther out there. I just happen to be in the business. So, people want to know that they're doing business. Not only like-minded people, but people that are actually care. Like most of our conversations are not about the precious metals. It's about why Robert Mueller ended up in a nursing home and why he can't remember anything. That's more fun to me to talk about. Gold and silver, that's the easy part. That's whatever. That's just a formality. But it's fun, So I appreciate the viewers. Thank you, all you guys. You guys have been, you guys are family. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, no question. And we're a close knit group here, and love having you on the show. Thanks for taking the time. I know it was kind of last minute, but
for you, Robert, anything.
Hey, I appreciate that. 1.5 million fake jobs.
George. Thank you, Mr. President. So I called the president because I had some very good news from some new data that we've been able to put together that no one has ever seen before, and I'll just very quickly go through these. So I was telling the president that he did the right thing in calling for a new head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, because this shows that over the last 2 years of the Biden administration, the BLS overestimated job creation by 1.5 million jobs. Mr. President, that's a gigantic error. And I don't know if she's, I'm not.
It might not have been an error. That's the bad part. If it was an error, it would be one thing. I don't think it's an error. I think they did it purposely.
Whether that you may.
1.5 million jobs added under Biden is not an error. It is intentional. I agree with him. What do you say, Bruce?
Well, any number that comes up from a government, touting anything, you got to take with a grain of salt because they know how to cook the books better than anybody. And so even from Trump, quite honestly, I've seen some rumblings, and there's stuff about the tariffs and the economy and job or manufacturing and different things. So I trust what I see and what I'm living in my own life when I look at this thing. So these numbers, I don't buy them when they come from the government at all. You can't trust it. Like I said, they are the master of cooking books.
I'm just trying
Robert, I think. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I'm just trying to kill the echo. Apparently, we're having an echo again. Okay. Hi. This should be easier than this. All this technology should work. It should just work.
Why it's not, yeah.
No, don't say it. Right.
We'll jinx it.
We'll jinx it. Let's see now if the audio is better.
But I mean, you look at the even the numbers: unemployment, consumer price index, inflation, the cost of living, all these different things.
Yeah, we're still having a lot of echo.
Yeah, really. Wow.
I don't hear it here.
I'm not.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see here. Hey.
Let's see what it sounds like on the live stream.
Joey says 5.5 now.
Okay, you guys sound good now. I don't know where the echo's coming from. Nothing changed. We were good, then we're not good.
We're gooder now. That's what Joey says.
We're gooder. We're gooder now. Yeah.
Things
that make you go, what in the heck?
I agree, Bruce. You get your daily data pump. What panders to the audience? Think about it. Are we in a two-party system anymore, or a one data collection of here's what's going on? how do we find the truth? Thankfully, and I'm gonna just jump out here. Two things. I'm gonna call out Bruce in a positive way. I scroll through so many things and post, and I'm thankful that Bruce will say, not gaslighting, nothing like that, but it's not real or it's old, which should hold all of us accountable to dig deeper than a topical conversation, statement, subject, or whatever to ensure this is what's going on out, because you put that out there, that's a daisy chain, and the people who are fretting or scared, they take that and run. And authenticity and accountability is what Lewis has been his platform since the day I met him almost 6 years ago. Authenticity, accountability, and where we are right now with what we're doing, we should be authentic and accountable. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to know the truth 100% of the time. I don't mean that. But for those who are creating these platforms for clickbait and for just these, look what I'm doing, no, you're not giving out free information. You're giving out information to create whatever your website promotes, okay, for the negative fashion, Trump coins, Dogecoin, all that crap out there to promote your websites and your, no, we should be where we are right now, promoting free information that's out there to make us aware for a reason. It's no different than this. And I've always said this. If you lived on coastal waters and you had access to a hurricane that was coming in and you had the audacity to promote this for monetary value to get the people to leave, you're a hypocrite. That should be free information. Hey, there's a hurricane coming. Prepare yourself for what's happening. You know what? That on the other side is going to promote you in a humble humanitarian reason, not a monetary, hey, look what I did, for news factor. Wrong. I don't agree with that ever. And I thank Lewis for the word authenticity. And this is where we should be right now, especially in where we are in this world, not in a politician's world or a governor's world, but in our life. We're in a very strange, weird, odd, fascinating world right now to where we, the good people, the good Samaritans, can help other people who are not even in the know. So that's just, sorry, that's my take on it,
But you're absolutely right. And that's what we strive for all the time is, in today's world, in the microwave society, everyone wants things right frickin' now. And so everybody's, out there to be first, right? Almost some people, their X account is every single post, breaking news, everything's breaking fucking news. So you got it. Being first isn't always great, but being correct is. And it's not, and everything is different too. We all have these biases, the comparative bias. Look into some of the psychology of the biases and what we're doing on these platforms, and a lot of times it's a big fucking echo chamber where everybody's just get all whipped up, into a frenzy over something that's not even correct. Yeah, so we have to check our biases and make sure that we're getting the proper information so that we can come to a correct conclusion. Right, because all of us, 4 of us here on the screen, can look or read an article or watch a 5-minute video individually, and then we come together, and each one of us is going to have a different take on what that meant, and that's based on our current situation, what we're feeding in our brain, where we're at, who we're associating with. All these different things is what has this information come together in one place to be able to come up. So what is the ultimate truth? I don't know. What the ultimate truth for me might be different than it is for Eric or Matt or Robert, right? So everybody's got to cool their jets a little bit, pump the brakes. And what is the ultimate goal? You know, as a collective, each of us individually have our own situations that we're going through and dealing with, trying to achieve and accomplish. But as a collective, as a society, as humanity, as Americans, as you know, Earthians, I don't know what you know, as people on this planet, whether it's a spinning ball or not, I don't know. Yeah, may the force be with you. But yeah, so I mean, what is our collective situation? Because we're all there's different aspects to each person's situation, and how you live your life, where you live your life makes a huge difference too, right? So we're here in America, we're getting all this information or propaganda, really, that you know, everything, we've talked about this before, everything is a psyop. Every single thing is a psychological operation. Somebody somewhere is coming up with some content, whether, you know, TV commercial, anything that we see, written ad, anything. I mean, I'm looking here on my desk and there's probably 50 or 100 pieces of information here to try to get me to think one way or another. You know, well, so Bruce, we got to look at all this stuff in that spectrum, or that viewpoint.
Propaganda. Yeah.
Well, Bruce, think about it like this. Think about the Epstein stuff. We're getting a little echo, aren't we? Maybe it's on my end. Anyway, think about the Epstein stuff. What is the media trying to do now? They're trying to make it seem like Epstein, all his claims of who was on his plane were just a bunch of crazy accusations by Epstein. So they're actually changing now the Epstein story. So to your point, Bruce, what initially came out, right, it pissed off conservatives. Then when Trump said, oh, it doesn't, or Pam Bondi said, oh, it doesn't exist, then the liberals jumped on it. And that was their truth. Oh, Trump's in it. And now, right, then the media jumped in on it. Now, all of a sudden, maybe the media realized something. Now they're saying, well, no, Epstein was full of it. So the story just keeps changing. So what is the truth? You just don't know.
Right.
You just don't know. Into the comment before from Trump with who's that? Bissent?
That was
no,
Miller.
That was somebody else. No, that was
different. No, that wasn't Miller. But yeah, I know. I can.
You're exactly right, Bruce.
That video was Miller. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all the government statistics are a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
Trump insulated himself with low unemployment rates, just making the statistics look good. What do you think he's doing with the stock market gains? He's just making the stock market look good. What he's really telling you is that any president before him could have made the market boom and people could have made a fortune, but none of it's real. None of it's real. We have to get back to a reality, and what that reality is, I agree. Who the hell knows?
The hardest part, I feel, is staying right in the middle. So your conservative nature doesn't drag you one way, or your liberal nature doesn't drag you the other way. If you're where we are right now, I'm talking about the ones who are connected, to stay right here and remove your biases and focus on what's real and not what's show or a movie. Because we don't even know how many 2.0s, 5.0s, 9.0s do we have out there. Honestly, I don't know. I don't care. I feel like if all the baddies are going to be revealed, whether it be, you know, let's go to court, tribunals, whatever, people who are not connected or are not even aware, that's going to mess with them. You mean I live my life this way and not even realizing this was what's going on, and I raised my family and this was a lie all my life? Yeah, it is. But what do? Do we sweep up the mess and help them? Because right now, I feel we're too far along to where we are. You're not going to convince people from like a preschool or just kindergarten to kind of graduate to what's going on right now. You're not going to do that. And good luck if you do, because they're going to call you a fool or crazy, which, sure, I'm okay with that as well.
They're digging in,
I
is
feel
what
this
you're
is where
seeing,
we are.
Eric. You're seeing a lot of people now. It's a little bit like somebody goes to school to become a doctor, and they go through medical school, and they work their butt off to get through there, and they get that medical license. They go through the whole thing, and then somebody comes along and says, "Hey, you know what? Here's the truth. You haven't learned anything about nutrition. You haven't learned anything about diet. You haven't learned anything about exercise. All of these things can reverse some of the worst diseases that you've been taught are incurable." Do they want to hear it, yes or no? Of course not. That's why they walk out of the room when you start talking like that. "Ah, you're crazy." They walk away. Because what you're doing is saying everything you've done up until this point is absolutely worthless. Your whole life is a waste. And I think you have people on the left that are like that. They've been through the indoctrination of school. They went through college, the think tank, the echo chamber, they're all that. And then they come out and they maybe some of them never left the school system. They become teachers and they're still in that mindset. So how do you go to them and change their mind?
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
I'm starting to feel really smart right now. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Matt. I'll wait. Yeah.
What were you going to say, Matt?
That's becoming the problem of waking people up, just for that fact alone. Them not wanting, because your psyche is going to go into a protection mode, and you're not going to want to believe or allow information in there that's going to change
Cognitive
or
dissonance.
upset your entire paradigm
Yes.
of your entire fucking life.
Yep.
Yes.
So that they continue ignorance is bliss is in their mind is the gospel, right?
Yeah.
And then with the knowledge, once you know something, I know Ethan loves that Hosea, that scripture, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. Well, I think it need to go a little further. It needs to be the application of that knowledge, because I can know every fucking thing in the world, but unless I start to implement or apply that knowledge,
Right.
it's completely fucking useless.
Yeah.
So, we applied knowledge is, but once you have that knowledge, becomes responsibility, and people don't want that in today's world.
Very true. Very true. You're feeling smarter, Matt, because you stayed out of all this nonsense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus,
now that we
he
put it in
stayed in
perspective, I
Holiday
might
Inn
be like-
Express last night.
I might be one of the smartest people on earth right about now. So I'm feeling pretty good.
It
Feeling
sure
pretty
feels that
confident.
way, right? Because, it's like, how do we end up here? How do we end up with the thinking that we have? And how do we end up with the belief systems that we have? We all of us, I mean, I went through the indoctrination of Catholic school and certainly college and all the rest of that. And I came out, I was on the left believing what my teachers taught me. And it just didn't hold very long. My dad always had Rush Limbaugh on. So every time I go over to visit him, I hear Rush in the background, and it's like, hey, that guy's making a lot of sense. That makes sense. Hey, he's right about that. You know what I mean? And it starts to wake you up slowly. But I can't imagine at this stage for the people who are not awake what they'd have to go through.
Got to be rough. That's a rough one, man.
Yeah.
These people are it's going to be a hard crash for these people.
How do you feel about the no illegals being counted and Trump ordering a new census to take place? Boy, oh boy.
Well, my question with that story is that going to be implemented? Is that going to be retroactive, or do we got to wait until 2030 to be able to implement any of those revisions? Right? Because we know we're talking about the numbers coming from the government, right? They always do their forecast, and then things. Holy cow! I lost my train of thought.
The numbers from the census. You're talking
Oh
about
yeah,
the census.
the numbers for the census. So I mean, the job numbers, they revise them, up or down. After they actually get data, they do a forecast and then up or down. So now here we are. We're only a couple years in, a few years in from the census. Was it every 10 years? So it was 2020 was the last one done. So next 2030. So are we going to be able to implement these numbers and remove some of these Democratic seats? That's a big thing. That everybody's talking about nowadays is the gerrymandering, the things going on in Texas and the Illinois stuff is funny when you look at that map. It's crazy. But the numbers from how does that get implemented? We can bring out numbers.
Bruce,
how
Trump
do we
would
bring
be
that
out.
about?
He would be out in 28, right? That would be the end of his term, right? The end of 28 or beginning of 29. So what he's proposing is they get started on the census right away. So instead of waiting for 2030, which is a long way off, to get started right away and do a fresh one, which I think makes the most sense.
Sure, at least you have then a public. You're seeding the consciousness of the public that the last census numbers were a bunch of bunch of hooey, a bunch of malarkey, as Joey Bribes would say. That all these illegals, and I just can't compute there. It doesn't seem like it's a real hard legal question that people here illegally, undocumented, if you will, aliens, that they get counted and they get representation in our government. That's one of the biggest things about the census is the representative areas and different seats, so they can add or take away this or that and the other.
Okay, so the census guy shows up at your door, Matt, and he says, "You need to prove to me that you're a U.S. citizen before I can count you." What do you say?
I don't know how to answer that, but I mean, if it was for, I would go to the Census Bureau. I think what we need to do is we need to show up there. I wouldn't want them coming to my door because I have no idea who the hell you are. Right? It'd be like that scene in Ace Ventura when he shows up to Ray Finkel's house and the shotgun comes out of the slot.
Right.
So you'd have to show up with a passport or a real driver's license, a real ID, right? Because a lot of states,
right. Yeah.
California gives out licenses to anybody like candy here,
Yeah, I'm here to see Ray Finkel, and I need a clean pair of shorts. Right? That was the line.
Reese's out.
This is my Graceland, sir. No, big fan of the movie. Yeah, I think it's Juan talks a lot about this stuff, and it's really intriguing to listen to him about. Is that a lot of the corruption is done through the Census Bureau? So really, the Census Bureau, I think, and what he also talks about is the voter rolls. We're not going to clean the voter rolls. That's been the narrative. Oh, let's clean the voter rolls. We'll clean the. You just need to get rid of the voter rolls. They're tainted. They're gone. It's destroyed. People need to go. Everybody can take time out of their day, half hour, an hour, go down to the local precinct or police station or church or whatever, go re-register to vote, bring your IDs, whatever IDs they're asking us for, and just go re-register to vote. You go to paper ballots. Guess what? We're going to be talking about very different subjects on this podcast in the future when that happens, because it ain't going to be about fraud. It ain't going to be about corruption. It's going to be about how much we made off China last year, and how we're all renovating our houses because we're taking money through the sovereign wealth. We're all getting paid through the sovereign wealth fund. That's what these conversations are going to be about.
Well, the voter rolls are a joke, Matt. Even if you said, "Hey, we have to re-register everyone," because they go and they clean the voter rolls. Oh, in California, they remove 3.1 million people from the voter rolls. The next day, they'll put them back on. So the question then, how do you make a voter roll that is clean? And maybe you don't. Maybe there is no way. Maybe you just show up at the point of voting. You show up at the polling place, show them your ID, show them and you can vote. And then there's actually no list being made.
That's a novel thought.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what is the purpose of the voter rolls themselves, and what other than why do you need to register to vote? I'm an American citizen. I should just go vote. And it should be a national holiday as well.
Well, in California, 100%. It's permanent mail-in ballots, so they need the voter roll to send out the ballots, and they love the voter rolls to be dirty because all the ballots that bounce back, what the post office call Nixies, they come back, and guess what they do?
Vote Newsom.
Yeah, they fill them out. Exactly.
In small areas, if you think about rural areas, you have someone show up at your door with what you feel like they have credentials. Who's going to really look at a false badge or just whatever's printed and then give you this paperwork to go, have you done this? You know what? They're going to feel like, well, maybe I should do this. And they'll do it. Even though it's false, they'll do it. And on the other end, we'll find out illegal crap going on, which has happened.
Yeah. An illegal's not going to say, I'm here illegal, knowing that ICE is around the corner. They're going to say, I'm an American citizen. Well, I guess we got to prove it then. Interesting topic.
I'm with that. We need to ditch the voter roll thing altogether. I'm making a note for Lewis for governor.
Lewis for governor, no voter rolls. We're taking them out.
Lewis for governor. Abolish that. Tell him, sir. Yep.
I mean, because even the mail-in voting, it's just becoming a convenience thing, right? But
It is.
and the intention for the voter or absentee voting is initially for people who are in the military state, stationed overseas,
Correct.
or people who are in business, living overseas, or some other, special situation. Not for everybody and their brother to just mail these things out, to every single person who fogs the mirror.
Well,
And
they
even
did
some who
that a
don't.
little bit during COVID here in California, and then they said they made it a law, and so now it's permanent. It's not, just during COVID.
Laws and bones, man. It can go away. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys that write these laws probably break more than they write anyway. So yeah, F
Exactly.
the law.
Make
Rooms for
2,
Cali.
break 5. Yep.
Pray for Cali. We're falling apart here. Apple says they'll be making 19 billion chips in the United States and only buying rare earth magnets that are produced here in the USA. Everything that Apple does has a magnet in it, right? Every new iPhone, Apple Watch worldwide will be made with Kentucky-made cover glass. I read this wrong this morning. I thought it meant screens, but it's just the glass that covers the phone. And covers the it's that Gorilla Glass from Corning, right? That's what they're still using, I believe.
Yep.
So they are going to invest another $100 billion on top of the $500 billion investment they announced in May. So that gives us about $600 billion of investment from Apple alone. What do you think, Eric?
Huge.
Well, I just read an article today that there was a lot of Apple, Droid, a lot of clearances in those phones compromised, a massive breach. I'll put it in at the SPG backstage. So apparently this is low key, and that's great. Not the breach, but to bring things back to the States is great. But and it'll create jobs. But the security part is still a concern because you have outliers that are tapping in consistently, trying to find that fissure to expose accounts. You got Google, and Droid and Apple Pay, all these, they have been compromised. So you're going to probably see soon, hey, if you were a part of XYZ, it's too late. Your account's out there and exposed. I don't mind the fact that we're bringing jobs back here, but you can remember when Apple and Droid first came out, Apple was like Teflon, Fort Knox. You can't penetrate with a virus. I remember sitting in a parking lot the day I heard the first account a first virus for Apple. Of course, they got to step up their game, but they were vulnerable. Oh, we're good. So, yes, the jobs are here, thankfully, but where's the protection? I mean, we're all over the place with all of our accounts. And you know as well as I do, either we do like thumb, finger, eyes, whatever, but that's exposing passwords, all of our information. So thankfully, again, we're back here, but what does that do for our security as far as our accounts, email, all that stuff?
Well, the vulnerabilities from a lot of this is not so much the operating system, the Android operating system or iOS. It is often the apps that have a lot of holes in them because they're done by third-party developers, and you're introducing security concerns. And one of the worst apps out there is Facebook, and the second worst is Instagram, and then the other one is WhatsApp. Right, those guys are bleeding information from your phone. One guy had done some research, and he said Facebook is tracking 22 pages of information on you daily. Every website you go to, everything you purchase, it's every email, every text message, everything is being scanned. Yeah. So until those holes get shut down, it's always going to be a security risk.
And people ain't the sharpest knives in the drawer. Still falling for the phishing email stuff. I mean, who anybody here who reads the terms and conditions and the micro print that they put for these apps, and you just hit continue, you can be giving away every damn thing. Yeah, so the security is more. Is it on us? We know there is no such thing as privacy nowadays. But
Right.
security. I have knock on wood. Haven't had any financial situations from things, but I've heard story after story after story after story of people getting wiped out, and there's just lives being turned upside down for 6 months over some breach that they actually were responsible for.
Yeah.
They get allowed somebody to get remote access to their computer to help them do some tech thing or something, and then all of a sudden all their shit's gone. So people need to be, use a little common sense with this stuff and understand, where you put your stuff. I mean, unless you live in a cave somewhere, you're at risk.
I'm trying to figure out how we can go through life without putting so much data onto these phones. And it's not easy because we're so used to it now, and it's such a major convenience. All your emails, all your text messages, your phone book, and documents. And when you're connected to iCloud or OneDrive or Google Drive, they have access to everything that you do. Everything you create is on there. All the graphics, the videos. I mean, everything. If you think about it.
And what about like remember years ago there was all those breaches of people's credit cards at Target and Walmart. You remember those?
Yep.
And we know Target and Walmart are not our friends. These are deep state constructs. So I think they're part of the problem too. Allegedly, right? We got to say allegedly for legal purposes.
For informational purposes only, right? Yeah.
For informational purposes only.
That's right.
But where are these guys? Are we going to learn that these guys are complicit? Probably.
We punch through apps. Do you agree? Yeah. I agree. And you do, and you don't realize on the other side that there may be fallout. Oh, this is a third-party app that may be subjected to XYZ. Well, it's too late then because the crap's out there. And I can tell you right now, coming from military background, I've had my account due to my Social Security number because it's like having all zeros. My Social Security number is that easy. I've had my Social Security number breached military 12 times because of my account. Of course, I get the whole, hey, we'll go into LifeLock and all that. It's too late. You can go on the LifeLock now, but if you're telling me my Social Security number's been breached, it's too late.
It's out there.
Right. But what's that number again?
00000.
Stop it.
1 2 3 4. Yeah. Seriously, I mean, if you're getting that letter in the mail, it's too late. It's already happened, And all you can do now, seriously, pray that nothing happens, but be proactive and say, okay, let me put this in place.
Eric, you can't go through and read those EULAs, end user license agreements, right? You can't go and read them because it's all legalese. It doesn't make any sense to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's on purpose.
Oh, intentionally so.
It is on purpose, yes.
Yeah. We have the right to post to your social media accounts and read all your posts and do this and do that. And it's like, well, if you don't let us do that, the app doesn't work. I'm like, okay, maybe I don't want the app.
What do you say? Yeah. Okay, I agree, I think. Yeah, exactly.
And the worst is the gaming industry, by the way.
So
if you have kids that are playing games on the computers, they ask for all kinds of permissions. And the kids are like, I just want to play the game. Yes. So they don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Well, if you go on my social media, most of my posts are, Michelle Obama with it's like AI. It's Michelle Obama with like a beard,
Michael.
So go nuts, guys. Enjoy.
Go nuts. Enjoy. I love it.
Robert brought up that point. I mean, Robert, before we move on, Robert brought up that point is how do we unwind it, right? We've become so used to and reliant upon this technology. Try going cold turkey for a week, or even a couple of days, just to cut off everything, all your TV, phone, nothing. Go sit in the middle of the field somewhere, and you'll start having withdrawals almost immediately.
Absolutely.
I could do it.
Sure will.
I could do it. If I weren't running the business, if I could just take phone calls, I could do without any of it. Although I do like catching up with, certain news, like Renegade Media.
Good. Oh, man.
Renegade Media.
Brown noser.
No, you know, it's important, Bruce. We gotta talk about our websites, right? Thank you, Matt, for the lead in there. If you guys want to keep following us, it's renegademedia.tv or at Renegade Media on Telegram. And you could find Mr. Bruce Poppy, Unleash Your Excellence, Bruce Poppy Show on YouTube, or brucepoppy.com, a new website, brucepoppy.com. And Bruce is always keeping us up to date and giving us the goods. Thank you, Bruce, for that. And you already know where you can find Matt. You could find him at veritymetals.com. And Eric, I don't know if you have a website or not, but I know you post a whole lot of stuff on Telegram.
Right,
he's got a kick-ass Telegram channel you need to be a part of.
Yeah. I am honestly, thank you, Bruce. I am honestly Telegram Master Baggy 2.0 because I got wiped off of Master Baggy. All right. But I have that in a chat, and I've learned when I've watched Screw Big Up, I've watched Renegade, and I've watched Bruce's channel. It's everybody has your opinion. You have your opinion, all right? Don't lash out at each other and be vile, but express your opinion. That's what we're here for.
Right.
It's non-biased for a reason. So thankfully, I have that, and I just welcome everyone. Don't be afraid. This is how you feel. It's not Democrat, Republican. It's what you feel like up here. Non-party affiliate. All right? It's what you feel. And then I do not allow badgering for a room to go after somebody. I will not allow that because we need to know we can express ourselves in a very calm and a nominal manner and feel okay about it. That's what we should be doing.
Yeah, and
thank you.
The biggest social networks that are the problem are the one that don't have a real name policy, right? So you go on Gab and you go on things like that, and people could just make all kinds of anonymous accounts, and they feel the same as they do when they're driving in their car and they cut you off. Like in church, they're all nice and kind to you, but as soon as they get in the parking lot, they're ready to run you down, right? It's the same idea on social media. If you don't know who's there.
Right. It was the weirdest thing. Somebody opened up an OnlyFans account under my name. I was like, what is this? Where did you get these photos?
I hope is it BG and all that good stuff, Matt, or is it like a personal
he's
pics?
Into those feet pics.
I don't want to take this any further.
Okay.
We're done, right?
Right.
So good, Master Baggy. Hey, what is the channel on Renegade? I mean, sorry, on Telegram. Hello.
It is Master Baggy 2.0.
Master Baggy 2.0.
Master Baggy chat. So you can go on and find it. There's only one, and please, by all means, that's an Air Force name. I was stamped. My name is Eric. Just call me Eric. It's okay. Bruce and I already talked about that during Helene stuff. Bruce is a rock star. He's a machine, by the way. When he and I chatted during Helene, but
at some point you're gonna have to share publicly the Master Baggy story.
I will share it publicly, and all dirty minds will go that way. But it's rated G, not rated R-ish. So yes, I will do that.
Joey is saying Master Baggy's Telegram channel is full of mature people, except for me.
Yes.
Joey G, you said it. He's the only one that's not mature in there.
Yeah,
I get it.
All the senior citizens are in there, the mature ones.
Yes, they are. The geriatrics. They are.
Joey. Always bringing up the fun.
Yes.
Joey was here the last week.
So there's some areas that people say AI cannot replace them. And a lot of talk lately about blue collar. Right, a lot of blue collar stuff. People are like, oh, you don't want to be a coder, right? They've been trying to push you to be a coder, and now we find out that AI can code faster than any human. And case in point, Matt, I was looking to do on your website real-time updates for gold and silver prices, and there wasn't an app for it. So I went into Grok and I said, here, create this, and it did, and it created it. Within 15 minutes, I had the code, the JavaScript that I could apply to your website and put that information up there.
That's unbelievable, and thank you. Yeah, you're doing great.
It's insane how quickly It's insane how quickly it comes around. So in the blue collar industry, there was this guy, he's an HVAC tech, and he had the glasses, the Google glasses with a little camera on there. And he came upon an air conditioner that he did not know how to fix. He'd never seen it before. And through AI, he's looking through the glasses, they're seeing what he's seeing. Within 10 minutes, he gave them what was going on. AI came back with the solution. He was able to fix it. And he goes, you don't think you're going to be replaced?
That's amazing.
Yeah. There's also a doctor who's saying the same. He says, he was working with a patient and he couldn't figure it out. And he says right now, the challenge that doctors are having is the patients are coming in more informed than the doctors. Because they're going on AI and they're saying, here are my symptoms. What's going on? AI is coming back with all this information. Okay, I've got this issue. How do I cure this issue? And it's coming back with the things that are working. Doctors have no clue. They're in the dark about it all.
Amazing.
What if it's right arm, left arm, or lower extremity, and you say, hey, this left arm is this, and you saw off the right leg and for whatever reason because of AI?
Yeah, I don't know. It's going. The rapid pace of development in this is probably what is scaring people the most, because AI 5 years ago I don't even think existed in the general public eye. Right? We didn't hear about it, and all of a sudden it's here. Not only is it here, it's starting to outpace what humans have spent their entire career learning. Yeah. And I think a lot of people are getting panicked by that, and they go, "What in the world's going on?" There was a video too on not Stephen Colbert, the other guy, Bill Maher. I think it was Bill Maher.
Oh,
yeah, and he was talking about how the AI, 80 to 90% of them, if you're a CEO of a company and you're cheating on your spouse, it's reading your emails. It could find that you're cheating on your spouse. 80 to 90% accurate on that, and then it can use that to blackmail the CEO. Like, are you kidding me?
Send pictures to your house. By the way, ooh.
Yeah, I could try and play the video, but we're having such an echo problem today. I'm not going to play the video, but I have it here. I'm going to put it up on the Renegade Media site. So you guys, you have to see this video. You talk about awakening. And he was talking about it, 2 months ago, they didn't know this was possible. Now all of a sudden it's possible because AI is looking at everything all at once, which is why they were able to build that rocket engine we talked about on Monday. And they were able to build a rocket engine from scratch within 2 weeks. Because AI could do what? It looked at all the data, all the information, all the engineers of all the years, and it could look at it once and say, okay, this is what we need to do to build a rocket engine. And they fired it up, and it took off the first try.
And then not only with AI, but also 3D printing.
3D printing with AI, right? Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the exponential factor. I mean, we're in those big, huge numbers, and it goes from 1 million to 5 million, like right fucking now.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing that I don't think people are really getting a grasp of, is how exponential and how quickly this goes. I saw a blurb that Sam Altman from OpenAI was a little bit freaked out about the new ChatGPT version, or whatever they call their new iteration, their new model. How quickly it's, surpassing all their expectations.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're going to start to see. You're absolutely right about the innovation. If you can shorten that timeline to innovate, like this jet and rocket engine that they made wasn't pretty, because they didn't ask the AI to make it pretty. They said make it functional. But now they can go back and they can say, okay, let's redesign this. Let's make this aesthetically pleasing as well. And it'll go in and it'll do that for you. So I think the rapid pace of innovation is really going to surprise a lot of us. We're going to have, iPhone, they're talking about, iPhones always come out like the first or second week in September. So the next one that is coming out, they're talking now about the phone having an 8K camera, not a 4K, an 8K camera in there. Now, nobody has an 8K television at home, so I don't know how good that's going to be of help. But the innovation is, and they've changed the pixel rating for the front-facing camera is only a 720. It's really low resolution, but the back-facing one, the one that faces the way that where the 3 cameras are, those are 4K cameras. So if you go up to 8K there, then the front camera is going to go. It's going to go up to a 4K camera. So your FaceTimes with grandma are going to look so much better. I tell you,
at some point, I mean, yeah, we can get an 8K camera, but then on the back end, we don't have the technology or the infrastructure to be able to utilize that to its fullest capability.
Right.
I mean, several years ago, I got a Sony TV, and it was the selling point was it was 3D, right? You put on the glasses, and there was a couple of games you could play and a couple of little thing, and they were touting the fact that this is going to be the future, all 3D shit, blah blah blah, and then nothing ever went anywhere from that particular situation. So
nor did the video disc. The video disc went nowhere. Remember the big 12-inch video disc?
Oh yeah.
the laser disc, karaoke.
Laser discs, yes.
Yeah. So this was an article that I read on about OpenAI launches the GPT-5. They just came out with the 4 just not long ago.
I know.
But they're bringing out 5, and even Sam Altman says he tried to go back to the GPT-4 and was quite miserable, to go backwards. And he says this is much faster, smarter, faster, and a lot more useful, particularly across domains like writing, coding, and healthcare.
Oh,
we talked about those 2 things: coding, and healthcare, and even writing. I know that there's action lawsuits, even class action lawsuits from people who written books, authors about intellectual property that AI is having access to and utilizing that to learn itself for education, and stealing these people's stuff. They've never bought it; just found a copy of it somewhere online, and so now the AI models are stealing people's intellectual property. And so there's lawsuits going forward on that. Music is the same way. The artist and the different things. You can create everything nowadays virtually, and that's the that's the problem about being replaced. Yeah, but at what cost?
Well, now we're talking about websites no longer really being necessary. In other words, driving traffic to your website, because people will just go to AI, and whatever information's on your website, if it's what they're asking, AI will just pull it. Because you can see how fast AI hits 20, 30 websites all at once. Bam, 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 bam. Mm-hmm. It ingests the information, and it condenses it, reasons about it, thinks about it, and then spits out a report that is fresh content. But it's grabbing the content that already exists out there. So people are saying, hey, in the future, we won't need individual websites. Everything will go through AI. Well, we need a place to put our content so AI could steal it. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
And give it away. Yes.
Yeah, maybe this is not a good idea, huh?
No, it's not. And nowadays, personal websites are just a fancy digital business card.
Yeah.
Right? Who even has? I mean, why even spend the money on business cards nowadays? I just use that for taking notes. I got piles and piles of business cards. I have no idea what I'm going to do with them. So yeah, I can see that happening. Yep.
Yeah, the doctor's thing is kind of interesting. That means, you don't have to go to a doctor as much for the little aches and pains, and you could go online and say, give me a natural cure for a sore throat, or give me a natural cure for whatever. And, I think it's always been the case that our creativity has been miles ahead of the technology. I mean, remember when PageMaker first came out and we started doing desktop publishing on the computer? It was so limited in what you could do, but our creativity was like miles ahead of it. And that's flipped now. Now the technology is so far ahead of our creativity. I think people are just starting to recognize all the different channels that they could use AI for. And a lot of people are, some people are doing it as an assistant. So for instance, if you're in investing, you could say, okay, AI, every morning at 7:00, what I want you to do is go look at the top moving stocks, blah, blah, whatever. And it could give you that, what's the top news, what's impacting the economy, what's impacting the market. And it'll give you that summary every morning. I mean, you would have to hire in the past a team of people to do that for you. But now you just plug it in and you wake up in the morning and there's your report sitting on your desk waiting to go.
and that's going to be even more easily accessible going forward. Was it the reptilian dude that runs Facebook? Came out and said that everybody's going to have an AI companion.
Oh boy, yeah.
It's how whether it's attached to your phone, it's a device or something you wear. But we've seen in the movies these holographic type heads up displays. That pops off of your watch. You can see like a 3D thing. You're playing with shit in the sky. That's coming, and that's an AI assistant. It's going to be plugged in and connected to everything.
Yeah,
that's where we're going.
Yeah, I got a buddy who's got a trucking company out here, and he used AI to just, I guess, automate his logistics or whatever. He had wound up opening up a second trucking company, and he's a very successful guy with his first one. So now he's running 2 companies where he could otherwise just be running one. So he just effectively doubled his business, doubled his income just through using AI. It's incredible.
Yeah, Bruce and I are talking about, okay, how do we get more traffic to our channels? How do we build our channels? So I decided, hey, I'm just going to ask AI, what are the top strategies for doing the marketing for these, YouTube and Rumble channels right now? And it comes back and it gives you a full report and gives you the references of what websites it pulled from and everything. It's like, boy, in the past, this would have taken so much time. And, another question I ask is, okay, what is, for small business owners, what is their number one concern right now? What are they worried about, right? What's keeping them up at night? Because that's the kind of the area that I specialize in, is helping small business. So, okay, what is it right now? And AI went out and it took about 10 minutes and it just did an exhaustive search and came back and gave me a full report. That in the past would have taken me weeks to figure out. Crazy,
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
I did. I love the low budget Punisher, the first one movie. I mean, the movie's awesome. And I love the Marvel comics, the Punisher skull. And I had that for a long time, just for that reason. So last Friday, I said, hey, let me grab ChatGPT and say, hey, how about create me the same type of symbol? Well, due to copyright infringement. And I said, okay, let's bypass copyright infringement. Create your own for me. And it did. And so I updated it to, course master. But it was so close to what was the original. But they made sure that, I guess, hey, we're next to, not on top of. And hey, it was great.
Wow.
Scary and cool at the same time, I guess,
Yeah, my brother has been in graphic artists for a long time, and he's like, boy, AI has totally replaced me. I'm saying, pretty much. I said, every graphic I'm doing now, instead of going into Photoshop like I've been doing for years, I just go to AI and I say, this is the logo I want, this is the way I want it done, and it gives me 5, 6, 1. That's good. Okay, use this style and make me a few more, and you can just keep going through it until you find one you like. So much for all those guys on Fiverr. I don't know, they're being replaced quickly here.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the thing about just for education, the thing about the AI is many people are using it like an expanded or enhanced Google search, some type of search engine, but it is way more capable of that.
Yeah,
if anybody's wanting to do anything with some AI as an assistant, as in helping, learn the prompts, because if you don't ask, that's the problem in life, is a lot of times comes back around even in AI. If you're asking the wrong question, you're going to get the wrong answer, right? You're not going to get the answer you're looking for if you're asking the wrong question. So if we can learn as individuals, humans, the proper way to draw out more of what we're looking for in the prompt and what we're asking the AI to do, we'll get better results all around.
Yeah, no question.
And then there's a faction of people that AI, I don't want to fucking touch this beast, man. Pretty soon they're going to be putting that thing right inside between my eyes, man. I'm going to be strapped down to a table and Neuralink is going to be going in my brain, and there ain't nothing I can do about it. That's just not going to happen, from that sense. But, we need to embrace this technology if we're going to do it and do things in a proper way, because AI is good as a tool, just like a weapon, a gun, right? The gun doesn't kill people; it's people kill people. It's not the AI; it's a tool, and who's in charge, who's training, who's teaching, who's writing, putting the information in. that's where we can go a little bit off the path here. But the transhumanists are all got their panties all in the wad about what's going on for sure.
Well, it's always, they'll exaggerate it to the worst possible scenario, and the fear mongering and all that. We see that in every industry. We've seen that throughout my entire lifetime with this stuff, and it's happening now. I guess I don't like maybe to use the word embrace the technology, because that means love it, right? And I think what people need to do is they need to understand it. Maybe that's the way we need to phrase it, so people are less like, oh, I'm not going to embrace this. That means I'm going to love it. You don't have to love it, but you need to know what it's doing, at least at the basic level, and know where it's being used, because it's being used everywhere. For instance, the IRS is using AI now to tap into every bank account. And they know your balance. They know what you've been doing. They can scan every bank account in America. And people are like, what, with no warrant or anything? Yeah, no warrant or anything. They just go in, they're able to do it now. So that kind of stuff we need to be aware of.
In gold and silver.
Exactly.
Not if you have gold and silver.
I had to.
Yeah.
So cool. Hey, Matt, speaking of gold and silver, why don't you give us a little information on how they should work with you and how they should contact you and why they should do it?
I think it's a good place to be. I think there's a lot of, your audience knows, you guys know, I think there's a lot of problems coming up that you probably want to avoid. I think it's, move out of the Federal Reserve System, get back into the Treasury system before things go haywire. Mm-hmm. Right? And you can do that with, I think it's a great savings tool. So if you have money in a cash account, checking, savings, whatever, why are you keeping tremendous amounts of money in a bank? Go take possession of it, keep it in gold and silver. It'll keep your money strong. And then, of course, retirement accounts, right? IRAs, 401ks, we convert those. We do it at a small fraction of what these companies out there do it that advertise everywhere. It's a joke what these companies charge. And it's not a funny one either. And then we have the self-storage option. So, you don't have to, I think the depositories are fine, but if you're one of those people that are really paranoid, we have self-storage. We're the only company, as far as I know, that does that. So, we have a lot of, I've dissected kind of the business and really given people a lot more options and flexibility in terms of their comfort levels. And then just, basic recommendation. The average person calls in, they don't know anything about gold and silver. They're expecting good advice. They're expecting good education. What I'll really help people do is I'll help you avoid making very stupid product purchases. We'll get you in the right stuff so that, when you purchase stuff, you'll look back in a couple of years, you'll be like, I saw Matt on Robert Imbriali's show. He did a good job for me. We're realizing that now, right? So I'm here to help. People just want to call and say hi, as I always say, please do. People do all the time. As long as I got time in the day, I'll talk to your audience all day long. It's awesome. It's fun. I enjoy it.
This is not gold, by the way.
What is that?
Fool's gold. This is iron pyrite.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Nice big chunk. I keep it on the desk all the time. It's good energy.
We have testers, so that would you wouldn't be getting that here. We would test it out of existence.
That's right. It would be tested. They'd say, no, this isn't real. We're not going to have that. Mr. Poppy, how do people follow you?
Well, BrucePoppy.com is the new website. I still am working on the shop area and the resources area, and it's going to be an ongoing evolution. So that everything there, and then of course the YouTube channel. I'm starting to put up more content on the weekly, and then doing the shows on Rumble with Unpopular Viewpoint. But in the future here, I'm not sure. I'm trying to decide. Maybe somebody can in the chat or make a comment on the video. I'm trying to decide whether I go and join ICE, because you can get a job with ICE now. They lowered the age or removed any age restrictions. I'm trying to decide whether I do that, or I'm going to go to try to collect $50 million that the Trump administration put on the head of Maduro down there in Venezuela. So there's a $50 million bounty for all you bounty hunters out there who want to go collect some money. But
BrucePoppy.com. That's the new website.
We're just living life and having fun, man.
Yeah, you really have to have fun in this environment. I got to tell you, Eric. How about you? Let us know where people can find you.
You can find me right now, and I'm honestly considering just branching out as well. But you can find me right now on Telegram. I post a lot of stuff on Lewis's channel. A bunch of people who are in the room that I I try to post a lot of things as well to get things out there. But I'm winding down. Oh, gosh, somebody's listening to me. I'm winding down in my career. I'm going to hear it tomorrow. So when I do that, where I am, I'm going to consider doing, what Bruce is doing as well, putting things out there and just getting an establishment to continue what we're doing, because, like I said earlier, just because 47 was inaugurated in January 20th doesn't mean we can relax. That's not the case. And we're doing what we're doing right now to keep it going, this motivation and this movement going, for a reason, to get the things out there, not to sit back on your lounge chair and go, okay, we're good for 4 more years. Absolutely not. So more to follow in the Telegram room with a platform such as what you have and what Bruce has as well.
It's Master Baggy 2.0 on Telegram, right?
Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. Boy, this was fun. Apologize again for the audio issues we had at the beginning. I spent the whole day Sunday trying to bust this thing. I thought I had it working. Apparently, there's still something more to do here. We'll get that ironed out. But thank you, guys. Appreciate your input. This was a lot of fun. I saw the comments in the chat room. You guys were keeping people very entertained, and they really loved the discussion. And, of course, you got great guests. You're going to have great discussion. No question.
We love them tremendously. Absolutely.
Right. Good seeing you guys. Thanks to everybody out there.
Thank you, everyone. And we'll be back next Monday with the Movement Show. And then, of course, next Thursday again with the new panel, or maybe some of the same panel. I don't know. Bruce has got Permavite. Remember, Permavite. That's what he's got. Thank you, everyone. Lots of love to all of you.
Adios.